This was the moment I was dreaming of. I beat the number one player in the world, Marco Silva. And this was on one of the biggest stages of Pokemon VGC, the Birmingham Regionals. I've been playing Pokemon VGC for about a year now. I've had a lot of failures, which I've learned from, in the hopes one day I'll become a successful player. Has this year of failures got me to the position where it will bring me one step closer to playing at the same level as someone this good? Here's a quick breakdown of the team. It may look familiar to you if you have seen Wei Deng's Top Cut match in the Birmingham Regionals. But if not, here is a recap without spoiling too much information about the team, because we might take it to London EUIC.
This is a really cool take on Cali Ice. Yeah, we haven't really seen much of this before. These four together should beat most Miraidon teams in my opinion.
Nice, interesting idea there.
So I'm going to use Wei's graphic from the tournament to show you guys. So we have Calyrex, Ice Rider, Terra Dragon, because we wanted to be good into balance. Good Trick Room, Imprison, Glacial Lance, High Horsepower, Clear Amulet. The standard Imprison set, it's just what you have to run. High Horsepower, we hate this move now. It keeps missing. Then you got Amoonguss, Terra Water. It's a standard Amoonguss set. Rocky Helmet. You could change it to Covert Cloak if you really wanted to. But yeah, Clear Smog for Dondozo. Spore, it's just Pollen Puff. It's just, yeah, Rage Powder, just standard. We want a Clear Smog for Dondozo and any type of Salmon that wasn't Zamazenta. Then you got Indeedee, Terra Fairy, so Chien-Pao, Zamazenta lead would have to double it. Alluring Voice, because Guard's annoying and you want to get rid of Chien-Pao. That's why we have Alluring Voice over like a Dazzling Gleam or a Psychic, because Calyrex doesn't really hit it that well. Urshifu Choice Band, Terra Poison, because we wanted to resist Flutter Mains, and other fairy types. And stab fighting, annoyingly. Regieleki, the Sashmon, and the only one with Protect. Later on in the story, you'll know Regieleki came in clutch for me. It helped me win this game. It was the last Pokemon that joined the team. After like something like 21 versions. And then you got Landorus, Incarnate, with Sheer Force, Scarf, Earth Power, Sandsear, Sludge Bomb, U-Turn, the most standard the Scarf Lando set you're ever going to see, and then Terra Poison. That's the team. That is our team that we took to Birmingham. Before Birmingham, we set up one practice event just to see if the team was any good. We went to practice in Leeds for a cup, which was 1 week before the Birmingham Regional. I ended up winning this cup, and in the finals I played against someone who was running Luca's Worlds team. It was piloted by Oscar, a UK player. He's pretty good. He's doing pretty well in the standings right now, so it was a good practice for the regional into Miraidon. He already had beat me in Swiss, so it was nice to get the revenge in the finals. And the one crucial detail that came from this match was Regieleki is incredibly good into Miraidon if anything is forced to Terra ever. And I can, most of the time, force Miraidon to Terra into Fairy. It allows me to pin options. It gives me a sash, it gives me a free switch if I ever need it. So yeah, it became the MVP of this story. So the Birmingham Regional start, and in round one, I have a no-show. Even though I get the dub, it doesn't get me ready to play in round two. And for someone who hasn't made day two yet, I need the practice. I want the practice. I want to play more. I want to play against the best players so I can improve. Anxiously waiting for round two, I pair into a Cali Ice team, which was hard Trick Room. When I ended up in the game, I realised their Calyrex was slower than mine. And the team all around hard Trick Room. So I needed to get one Imprison up to be able to win this game. I won game one and game two in about 4 to 6 turns each. So again, I wasn't exactly in the zone. Even though I played well, in round 2. The round 3 pairings are unannounced. I look at my phone, my heart sinks. Marco Silva, a player we all recognise as the current strongest player in the world. It made me think, why am I playing if I do not want to play this caliber of player? If I'm ever going to get better at this game, I have to prove to myself that I can compete with someone who, in many people's eyes, should be outclassing me in every matchup. I sit down, nervously waiting, thinking about what he could possibly be using, how he's going to play with that team. My head is completely clouded with thoughts. We exchange team sheets, and all the voices of doubt in my mind drop. It is Luca's Worlds team, but with Dark Urshifu over Water Urshifu. A team I know that I can potentially beat. I have a great record against Miraidon teams like this. Could I possibly do it against this player? Could I possibly do it again? My confidence skyrocketed before the game started. I instantly locked in my team. I knew what my game plan was. The game starts, and I lead Calyrex and Indeedee, and they lead Iron Hands and Firefly. He reads turn 1 correctly, switches in Miraidon for Flamepon, and fakes out into my Calyrex, and I have no turn of follow me. In the next turn, I'm stuck. I cannot risk Terra Dragon, as Dazzling Gleam does too much damage in electric terrain. I bet he would Volt Switch, expecting I would want to reset the terrain. So I Glacial Lanced, and Alluring Voice to try and chip away at Hands and whatever switches in after the Volt Switch goes off. Because I know if I get some chip down on Miraidon, I can win with Lando. And then it happens. Volt Switch goes into Indeedee, and Farigiraf switches in Alluring Voice, which confuses the Farigiraf because the defense boost goes off. And after this confusion, Glacial Lance then goes into the Farigiraf, and it crits the Farigiraf with the defense boost. This drastically changes the outcome of the game, because now I'm in the driver's seat, and a Drain Punch goes into the Calyrex slot, doing it just about under half, and Iron Hands gains some valuable HP. I now know that in the next turn, I can Helping Hand Glacial, which KOs Farigiraf, and brings Iron Hands to red. So I do it. I Helping Hand, Farigiraf goes down. Iron Hands, it goes about 15%, and then the Drain Punch goes into my Indeedee slot, and Indeedee goes down. Now I have a decision to make. On this turn, I switch in Regieleki, hoping that he does not figure out that I have Lando in the back. Because it's so obvious that I bring in Lando here. He brings in Miraidon, so it's Miraidon and Hans looking at Regieleki and Calyrex. If I Terra Dragon, and Dazzling Gleam goes off, I lose. Because Calyrex goes down. So I have to stay as a normal Calyrex. I can't Terra. Because Dazzling Gleam Drain Punch instantly loses me the game if I don't protect. If I couldn't get the call wrong, so I'd just rather not make the call. So I protect Lecky, and to my excitement, Electro Drift KOs Calyrex. And because Miraidon is running specs, it can no longer do damage to my Lando unless it switches out. And then Iron Hands Drain Punches into the protect, which is completely fine. It's now down to my last 2 Pokemon. Lando and Lecky. The mons chosen specifically for this matchup. I realise the win I think Marco will go for. If he gets to a stage where Hans can fake out and Flamepon is on the board at the same time, he would win. So I make a read. He's going to switch out Iron Hands into Ogerpon and just Electro Drift the Lecky. So I Terra Electric, Thunderbolt, and Earth Power into the Iron Hands slot, which I suspect the Flamepon will come in on for. And he does. Flame Bomb comes in and goes down to the double up. And Electric Drift hits Regieleki and brings it down to Sash. So Iron Hands comes back in. If he fakes out the Lecky and Terra bugs, he will win. Because Lando does not do enough damage with Earth Power into Terra Bug AV Iron Hands. Iron Hands is just too bulky. So I have to protect Lecky and hope he doesn't attack. I think Lando at full HP is fine, so I'm in a winning position. I just need to protect Lecky. I protect Lecky. He fakes out Lando and Electric Drifts into Lecky again. I then double up into the Iron Hands because Lando just wins the 1v1 against Miraidon. They Terra Bug their Iron Hands and Terra Electric Thunderbolt. It KOs Iron Hands. And Earth Power goes into the Miraidon slot and Miraidon lives on 1 HP. And I win the game because there's no way for Miraidon to break Lando. So yeah, game 1. I made a lot of hard predictions. And my nerves are just getting worse. I've just won game 1. I don't know if it's luck. I don't know if it's a fluke. I definitely had luck on my side that game. So I need Callie. Because I have a different game plan now. I know what I'm going to do. Marco leads Iron Hands and Ogerpon Heartflame again. Turn 1, I make a big call. I don't think he's going to switch out this time. I think he's going to stay in with Ogerpon. So I Terra Dragon Callie and hard switch Lando into Indeedee so Fake Out doesn't come out. And to my delight, Fake Out was stopped by Terrain and Ivy Cudgel Callie Dragon down to 115 HP. Glacial Lance brings Ogerpon down to 30% and Iron Hands down to 65%. In turn 2, I predict Spiky Shield on Flamepon to slow down my momentum and also cover for a switch. On the Ogerpon side, I Luring Voice the Hands and Glacial Lance, bringing Hands to 5%, and Iron Hands Drain Punches Indeedee and gains some HP. And because I know the positioning's not great for him, he's going to want to Ivy Cudgel and take down something. He's going to do a double up. But I believe my Calyrex health is very key. So I follow me Glacial Lance to pick up both, and any switches in are fine. Ivy Cudgel KOs Indeedee, and Glacial picks up both Mons on the other side. So my Calyrex with Terra Dragon is at +2. I bring in Lando to put on a bit of pressure, because I know I'm going to have to force him to Terra early instead of bringing in Lecky. I see the win con for Marco again. If he Terra Fairy, Dazzling Gleams, and Trick Room, he would win the game instantly because Lecky and Lando are both faster than Miraidon, so they'll be slower in Trick Room. I make a call that he's going to go for this play. I make a call that he's going to go to Trick Room. If I called it right, he's going to go Trick Room again. Just so Calyrex is not faster than Miraidon. So I hard switch Calyrex to Lecky. Because it's Sash, I know it will survive this turn. And I know Dazzling Gleam will not touch Lando unless it's Helping Hand. I Earth Power the Miraidon, which Terra's into Fairy, taking about half HP. And Dazzling Gleam brings Lecky down to Sash, and Lando loses 84% of his health. And Trick Room gets set by Farigiraf. I knew he was going to go for Dazzling. He obviously has to go for Dazzling Gleam again, and I think he's going to hard Trick Room again, so Kara will be slower than Miraidon. So I protect Lecky and sack Lando for Dazzling Gleam, and Trick Room goes off again. Meaning Callie Dragon and Lecky on the board outside of Trick Room. I Thunderbolt the Fairy Miraidon, KOing Miraidon, and Farigiraf KOs Regieleki with Psychic. And I respond with a single targeted Glacial Lance to +1 from Rigoran, which does over 40%. And now I know I needed Foul Play to do less than 55 HP each and not crit. After playing my heart out this whole set, after stressing so much, Foul Play comes in and no crit. My Calyrex survived on 7 HP. I win the set with Glacial Lance KOing Farigiraf. I just beat Marco. I accomplished a huge task and proved to myself I can compete against the best players. And there you have it. I just beat one of the best players in the world. I don't know how I did it. I got a bit of luck. That's why I made this video. I wanted to document what I did so I can hopefully repeat it again in the future. Yeah. So I just have to say thank you for watching. Have a good day. And hopefully I get another chance to prove myself at EUIC.